What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by AutoTopNL. My name is Max, and today we are taking a look at the all-new ALPINA XB7. I was going to say BMW, but it's not, it's an ALPINA. And this is actually Andreas, his family car. And you might remember that we did an Audi R8 V10 Spider recently, the beautiful green one. That was Andreas, his car, and this is his family car. So, I mean, the man has got taste. It is a very awesome family car. So today I'm going to show you around it, show you all the cool stuff on it, and then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn. It's actually over there for an Autobahn blast. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to receive updates when we upload a new video. And check us out on Instagram if you like, at AutoTopNL, and make sure you check out Andreas on Instagram as well, Andy the Don. You can follow him. He has got some really cool cars and he is a real car guy, so go check him out. Alright, so the XB7 by ALPINA. Now, as you guys probably know, this is an ALPINA. It's not a BMW. It says so on the registration as well. So ALPINA is a car manufacturer and not a tuner. So there are ALPINA logos everywhere, even on the key. Not on the car itself actually, or at least on the front and the rear. I think that's an option. But what do you get with the ALPINA is, well, that front bumper with that lower part. You can see how much lower that actually is than the regular X7. With that ALPINA here, this logo, really cool. This is actually Grigio Telesto, this color, this gray, and this is a BMW individual color. Originally, this is a Lamborghini color, so it does suit the X7 quite well, if you ask me. And well, I'm curious to see what you guys think of the X7 now it's been out for a while. Do you still think it's as hideous as you thought when it came out? Because I don't hate it anymore. I think it's quite a cool looking car. I didn't really hate it when it came out. I really hated it when I saw the pictures. That was, it doesn't really do well on photos. In real life it actually works quite well because it's quite an imposing car, and of course that ALPINA front that extends the front, basically, that makes it even more imposing. Now, another cool thing, license plate XB7. That's just awesome. I wish that they would allow that in the Netherlands. How is that still not available? I mean, that's the coolest text there is, basically. Anyway, the ALPINA XB7 gets 21-inch wheels as standard. These are the optional 23s, and of course we have multi-spoke wheels with ALPINA. 23-inch, that is absolutely massive. And behind that we've got ALPINA brakes by Brembo, I think. And you can get an upgrade even for the brakes, which are supposed to be really incredible. I read somewhere that if you have the upgraded ALPINA brakes, you have the same stopping distance as a BMW M5 or a Ferrari F8. So that's quite insane for a car that weighs 2.5 tons and is this big and this large and tall and whatever. So apparently that Brembo upgrade is really worth it. We have some chrome down here, and of course the ALPINA pinstripes down the side. Andy the Don, go follow him on Instagram. And at the rear we've got, of course, a new rear bumper with the quad oval tailpipes, and this is actually a different exhaust. So this ALPINA XB7, as you can see, the upgrade is, I'll tell you right now when we get to the engine, which is based on the 50i, the M50i. So stock 530 horsepower and 750 newton meters. This ALPINA XB7 has 621 horsepower and 800 newton meters. And that exhaust is part of the upgrade. It's a more free-flowing exhaust. Combine that with two larger twin scroll turbochargers and some extra water coolers they fitted in here. And of course the software, the ECU remap, brings the total to 621, which is quite a big jump. They've also changed the gearbox quite heavily, so software, but I think hardware too. And you will see the shifts are very quick. They are quicker than in a regular X7 M50i. You can see Grigio Telesto Pearl there. That's the color. Really cool color. And on the inside, we've got, well, what is this? Is this Tartufo? Maybe? I think it's Tartufo. Could be one of the others, but it's very close to Tartufo. Absolutely beautiful. And we've got a little BMW ALPINA XB7 plaque there, number 58. And you can see here that they are a manufacturer of exclusive automobiles, so not a tuner. And we've got the ALPINA logo in here as well. So they took this top part out, I think, and then they lasered this in, and then they put the top part back on. So it's like engraved in there, inside the knob. So it's really cool. And we have an ALPINA steering wheel, or well, a BMW steering wheel, but this is the ALPINA version with ALPINA leather, and we've got green and blue stitching. And of course, as you can see, you don't have pedals anymore. They always do that at ALPINA, so you have these buttons here. But basically the thing they're saying is, don't use them. Just leave it. It's fine the way it is. The approach by ALPINA is always very, very fast and very, very comfortable. I think, you know, that's the best way to describe it. With this XB7, I mean, the pedal shifters, you can just delete them. You don't need them. Really, you can just use sport gearbox or drive, and you can even use the gear lever to shift if you want. But I like this detail really to show what ALPINA is all about. Now, of course, BMW is not going to offer an X7M or an M7 if you want the 7 Series. So ALPINA really offers something that BMW doesn't here, which is this amount of power, you know, 600 plus, basically M power in a 7 Series or an X7, which is really cool. Normally, of course, with the B3 and the B5, they offer something that BMW doesn't, which is a really fast 3 Series or 5 Series without, you know, the M stuff. Just comfortable, fast cruiser. With this one though, it's like a different approach. Again, because they've also changed the air suspension. So we're in comfort right now, but if I switch to Sport Plus, you can see it goes down 2 steps, the air suspension. And if we get out, there it goes. You can see it going down there and there as well. Now it lowers by 40 millimeters in Sport Plus. Look at how low that goes. That is a big difference. Look at that. It almost turns into like an estate, like a station wagon, because the wheels are so big and the car is so low. So they actually did incorporate their own air suspension setup, and you can really feel that the car is less floaty than the regular X7. I think they kind of went the other way with this car, making it a bit better handling than a regular X7. You know, instead of the normal approach, making it more comfortable than an M car. I think now they thought, well, there's no M version, so let's make an ALPINA M version, basically. Now, let's take it for a little drive towards the Autobahn and see what it's like over there. You do get a bit more sound from that exhaust, but it's not super loud or anything. It's still quite civilized. Of course, true to the Alpina nature. But you can really feel now in Sport Plus mode that we're so low. We're so low to the ground. It feels like we're in a raised 5 Series Touring or something like that, you know? Not in a massive X7. You can really feel the difference. Okay, so we're going to go for Sport gearbox. It actually feels pretty firm. Quite composed still, of course, but compared to an X7 M50i, it definitely feels more solid, tied down. So we're going to floor it at the Autobahn and see what this car is all about, because of course Alpinas are made for the Autobahn. That's where they are supposed to excel. Now, the standard X7 M50i has a top speed limited at 250 kilometers an hour. This, of course, doesn't, so this has a top speed of 290 kilometers an hour. The 0 to 100 has also improved, so stock 4.7, this Alpina 4.2, half a second quicker. Listen to those shifts, that is pretty damn quick actually. Now, of course, we also measured the 100 to 200 and the 0 to 250 times. 100 to 200 kilometers an hour, it's quite a respectable bump in performance. So it went from 11.86 for the M50i to 10.27 for this car. Not bad, but where it really shines is the 0 to 250. So it went from 33.6 seconds to 27.4. So that is actually quite a big increase in performance. Now let's see if we can get some space, because that is all this car wants to do. It wants to stretch its legs. You can just feel it come into its own. When it has some space, it just takes off. It is really, really cool. It sounds awesome, and because those shifts are so much quicker, it just feels like a different car. The urgency you have in the drivetrain because of those shifts combined with that 4.4 liter V8 is just so nice. It's a really good upgrade over the standard gearbox. I have to say, I really like that. Now, of course, true to Alpina fashion, we also have dials that have been changed to the Alpina blue, and if you go into the menu here and you go to sport displays, you can actually see that they also changed the power and torque figures in the system, which is great. So that's actually maximum torque. I'm not even flooring it. Already you've got maximum torque. Okay, we're just going to turn around here and see if the opposite direction is any better, because this side is pretty busy. Oh, that's actually pretty impressive as well. Oh my, this car has no business handling this well. How do they do that? That is just insane. It weighs like 2.5 tons and it's crazy. I do think that this Alpina air suspension version is quite a bit lower than the standard BMW setting, so that probably helps as well. Full throttle. I love the fact that you get this jolt through the drivetrain with that shift. It's such a nice feeling. So you can see it gets up there pretty damn quickly. These cars are a bit too close together, not going to pass them all together, but that is impressive performance. Okay, so we'll do one last pull. We won't get to that top speed of 290, but I am sure it will get there, because the way it runs up to 270 kilometers an hour is really impressive. And you can really feel that this is what this car is built for. They even change physical things on the engine to make it suitable for long, high-speed stuff, you know. This is built to cover a lot of distance at high speeds. That's also why they increase that cooling. So yeah, unfortunately it's a bit too busy. We're just not going to get there, which is a shame, but man, I love this car. It is super special, this car, because it really feels different from a BMW X7 M50i. It feels like another step up, like everything's been turned up, and I really love that about ALPINA. The fact that it feels like a factory car, it doesn't feel like a tuner car. And it just adds like its own unique sauce to the lineup. So I'm going to end it here, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. Don't forget to follow Andy the Don on Instagram. You can check out this video or go check out this playlist. See you at the next one. Bye.